Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2k20 Universe Mode. I'm BrendenPlayz, this is NXT, and tonight, bit of a comeback. We got Kassius Ohno returning to NXT. Roderick Strong will be in his corner, and he'll face the former NXT champion Adam Cole in our main event. And plenty more of that came from as well, including some women's action to get us underway. It'll be Candice LeRae. She'll be going one-on-one with one of the rising stars in NXT, Rhea Ripley. Candice LeRae, 4 wins, 40% win-loss. So 4 wins, 6 losses at the moment. But Candice, so a steady start to NXT, but obviously not the start that she would have been hoping for. She perhaps would have liked to switch those numbers around. 6 wins, 4 losses, but not to be. A good opportunity for Candice here tonight to put herself in the mix with a win over Rhea Ripley. Won't be easy though. We saw Rhea pick up a win recently and look pretty impressive. I gotta say, I think Rhea Ripley has a lot of potential, but as does Candice LeRae. This is why this one will be very interesting. I think both these women pretty much on the same level at the moment, both wanting to break through and become potentially that next contender. So a win would be crucial for both. Here's Rhea Ripley's numbers: 3 wins, 60% win-loss ratio. So that's a little bit healthier if you're Rhea, and that's probably where she would like to be, maybe a little bit higher than that. But those are good numbers that would certainly back up her claim to potentially be a contender at some point in the future for the Women's Championship. Lots of good talent right now in NXT in the Women's Division. Candice LeRae, of course. Io Shirai. Some of the bigger names right now gunning for that championship. And Rhea Ripley has, I think, entered that frame as well. She's certainly put herself in the mix after her, well, big return a few weeks ago. And it's now Candice has Ripley, and oh, beautiful flip through. And now the pressure's on already for Candice to potentially win this thing. Candice could get it done early on here as another dropkick as Ripley wisely rolls outside the ring. And Ripley tried for something there, but Candice shutting it down. So far so good for Candice LeRae. And she'll be looking to just try and turn things around a little bit for herself. It doesn't mean bad though. 40%, if you're kind of looking at where you want to be, obviously you want to be above 50%. That means that you have more wins than losses. But if you're new to the scene, 40% is not a bad starting point. It suggests that, you can pick up some wins, but maybe, you're just not quite there yet. And Candice, I think with a bit more experience under her belt in NXT, might be able to secure her place as a top-tier contender. So, I still hold out hope for Candice LeRae. Rhea Ripley impressed me not too long ago when we last saw her, so that's why I think she's got a lot of potential to take that next step. But this is a chance for Candice to show us what she can do. Pull up maybe an upset win is now... Oh, Candice onto the ropes there thanks to Ripley. Well, also tonight we're going to see Keith Lee in action. We saw Keith Lee attack Matt Riddle. That was on the last episode of NXT. So Matt Riddle won't be here tonight, still recovering after his beatdown, but instead Keith Lee will be in action. And I know Matt Riddle will be looking to get his hands on Keith Lee ASAP. And Matt Riddle was on track, I feel, to potentially beat EC3 for the NXT Championship. Not to be. And now I guess we await who's going to be the next challenger for EC3. That's a bit of a question mark right now. There's plenty of guys available in NXT that could certainly do it. Aleister Black, Lars Sullivan, probably the 2 bigger names at the moment. Adam Cole again. Velveteen Dream's always around. And, obviously Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, but I think those 2 might be headed in a singles match direction of themselves. So certainly the door is open for someone to step up and take on EC3 next for that championship. Who will that be? We'll find out in the next few weeks. But certainly a chance for Keith Lee to throw his name out there. And Adam Cole and potentially the returning Kassius Ohno could potentially do the same. As now Ripley has LeRae up for the fireman's carry. And Candice the front face lock, picking up Ripley into the scoop slam. Back here to the women's division, obviously Shayna Baszler holding serve at the moment, hanging on to that championship. And here comes the running bulldog. Kairi Sane has had her battles with Shayna. Now I feel like it could be Io Shirai, that next woman on the chopping block there, or one of these 2 women right here. As, Candice LeRae nicely executing that maneuver there. So far, so good for Candice, as we said. We're hoping that she would show us what she can do and impress us. And so far, she's done so as a nice block there of the attempted drop kick. And hits one of her own in return. Nicely done. Candice in control. Rhea in a bit of trouble here. Ripley needs to try and do something. Ripley against the ropes underneath. And now Candice, Hurricane Rana, flips her through. And all of a sudden, this is a danger period here for Ripley, who probably was the favorite heading into this one, certainly based on record alone. And now she's in trouble. Springboard! Lands down on top of Ripley. Springboard moonsault. And now, oh, Ripley with a counter. And finally connects to that drop kick. She's gone for that a few times. And now this is more like it. Just those pounding right hands right into the jaw of Candice LeRae. Ripley utilizing her size to her full advantage. And now the power game as well, picking her up and drilling into the canvas. Rhea Ripley could be about to secure the win here. Candice against the ropes. Ripley trying to bounce back into it. There's another big drop kick right to the back of the head of Candice LeRae, who was hung up on the ropes as well. Already a bad position to be in. Then you add on the drop kick. Not good news at all for Candice. Still though, Candice is back into the offensive. And now she's able to find a neck breaker, utilizing the ropes for extra leverage as well. More pain being inflicted. Ripley into the corner. Candice LeRae, can she find something big here? This could be sink or swim. If she finds the big move, it could secure the win. If she doesn't, it may cost her. As Candice is up to the top. What is she thinking? Oh, swinging neck breaker off the top. Great cover. Both legs hooked. She's got it. No, a kick out at 2 3/4. Candice LeRae almost had the win. I thought for sure Ripley was done. And the referee almost had his hand down for 3. Oh no. Ripley, up and down she goes. She calls that the Riptide. And I'm going to call that game over. It's a victory for Ripley. 1, 2, 3 for Rhea Ripley, who picks up another win. I got to say, not her most impressive one. Candice LeRae right there almost had the win with this swinging avalanche neckbreaker. Absolutely perfect. And a great cover. And the referee, as you can see, look how close that was. Almost a win, but to Ripley's credit, she got straight back up, hit the Riptide, and was able to secure the win. Well, I gotta say, not tonight, but certainly in previous weeks, we've seen Ripley dominate. This is much more of a back and forth match, but one I think she needed to really prove herself. She found a way to win when the going got tough. That is what she needed to do to prove herself worthy of a title shot. Ripley looking good here tonight. Is she our next contender for the Women's Championship? Plenty more action where that came from, including Roderick Strong versus R-Truth one-on-one on this week's main event. You can see a fatal 4-way match. Sonya Deville, Alexa Bliss, Billie Kay, Alicia Fox in a 4-way. The Miz will take on Zack Ryder. The Revival will be in action against the Lucha House Party. And our main event, we will see Elias, Chad Gable, or I guess he's known as Shorty G now. Roderick Strong picks up a win over R-Truth. Alexa Bliss wins the 4-way. The Miz beats Ryder. The Revival too good for the House Party. And Elias picks up another win. This week on NXT, Akira Tozawa will take on former Cruiserweight Champion Tommaso Ciampa. Tyler Bate has a battle against Sin Cara. We will see Tony Nese and Drew Gulak team up to take on the Street Profits. Humberto Carillo has the unfortunate match against Keith Lee. And Kassius Ohno returns to NXT to face off against former champion and a former rival of his in Adam Cole. That will make for some interesting viewing indeed. Tyler Bate, too good for Sin Cara. Street Profits can party tonight because they have picked up a much-needed tag team win. Our next match, we'll see Humberto Carillo in action. A Well, a newcomer onto the scene. He's been a part of the Cruiserweight division for a few weeks now, but certainly not facing a Cruiserweight tonight. This will be a tough challenge for him, and we'll see how he handles, of course, Keith Lee, a man who's in a pretty bad mood. 1 win from 4 attempts from Carillo, so not quite the start he would have been looking for. Not sure if it gets any easier for him here tonight, as we said, but hey, you never know. Upsets could happen. This kid, pretty athletic as well, as you can just see him getting into the ring right there. So he's got something about him, so we'll see what he can produce here in NXT. Keith Lee, he's only a newcomer as well, and he started to make his presence known pretty quickly. He's a big man, and he is a mean son of a gun as well. He's a guy not to be messed with, it seems. Keith Lee last week attacked Matt Riddle and cost him his matchup against EC3. And EC3, he got his shots in as well, don't you worry. Lee, 1 win, and that was the only win he's gotten in NXT, but it was the most important one. It was a win that secured him his contract in NXT. He won a 6-man matchup, recently a takeover, to earn his contract in NXT. And it was actually his second attempt at trying to get a contract in NXT. His first attempt, a 1-on-1 match against Matt Riddle. And so evidently, Matt Riddle cost Keith Lee a few months of his NXT career. And we don't know where Keith Lee would have been within those few months. You never know. Could have been NXT champion for all we know. But what happened is that Lee lost the NXT contract matchup. Matt Riddle got the win, secured the contract, and Riddle's been in NXT ever since. Keith Lee had to try again and get himself into NXT. A much more difficult path he had to take to do so. So, not an easy time for Keith Lee. That's why I think he's so bitter and frustrated. I mean, you got a guy who's thriving in NXT, getting a title opportunity when you're only just arriving onto the scene, when it should have been you. I guess it could have been Keith Lee. In Keith Lee's mind, you know, anything Matt Riddle would have done, he would have done as well, but a lot better. But at the end of the day, Keith Lee did lose to Matt Riddle in that tryout match, and, well, it's been tough going for Keith Lee ever since. Only 1 win to his name, 2 losses, and of course, he was a part of that recent matchup to determine the #1 contender that Matt Riddle did, of course, win. And Riddle and Keith Lee, they had their battles in that matchup as well. So, no real surprise that Keith Lee's coming after Riddle. But, you know, I guess the way he went about it, costing Riddle his title opportunity, I wouldn't exactly say was the most pleasant thing to see. I think Keith Lee could have gone about it in a bit more respectful way, and if he had a problem with Riddle, he could have called him out face-to-face, man-to-man, instead of attacking him and costing him his championship opportunity. But nonetheless, Keith Lee, as you see, look at him hit the powerbomb, utilizing his strength there. Up and down goes Carillo, and this is what Keith Lee brings to the table. It's 300 plus pounds. He's got a lot of power about him, but the fact is, he's very agile for his size. He can move around. He's a big man, and he certainly can move. Not as quick as a high flyer, obviously, but he certainly can match him for speed at times. Won't be too worried if someone's coming off the top rope or trying to really quicken the pace. Keith Lee can hang in there. At the moment, Humberto Carillo might need to try and get this match a bit more aerial. Try and keep Keith Lee down and keep the offense going. Because you got to try and, I guess, chop away at the tree trunk. You know, just keep on coming and at Keith Lee and slowly take him down. Just keep on chopping away. Try and slowly secure that win. And Keith Lee with a knee right in the jaw of Humberto. And you have to believe Matt Riddle will be watching this matchup after his attack last week. He's just taking the week off, not because he wanted to, but because he was forced to by the NXT medical team. They did not want to see Matt Riddle get himself even more potentially hurt after the attack last week. And I guess that's why Keith Lee was more than happy to come out here tonight and wrestle, considering he knows that Matt Riddle's not in the building. Doesn't have to worry about Riddle trying to come back and return serve as a nice standing shooting star there from Humberto. Not that Keith Lee should be too worried about Matt Riddle in terms of size advantage, but Matt Riddle, he's a former mixed martial artist, so that just means he is a bad man. And Keith Lee, oh, what about that from Keith Lee? Springboard crossbody. We spoke about it a moment ago. He can move. And there's a modified spinebuster for good measure. That could be it for Carillo. Keith Lee to do it right here. But a kick out. Yeah, MMA fighter Matt Riddle, great background. He's got all the technical prowess, and Keith Lee may have the strength game and the power and everything like that. But, well, there's the example of the power. Keith Lee just picks up Humberto, absolutely drills him in the canvas, and that's the ball game right there. He's not getting up from that. Matt Riddle, I hope you're watching. You might want to get yourself ready for a battle against Keith Lee. It will be a huge fight. It's coming soon, you know it. Matt Riddle's not going to stay at home for too much longer and wait around whilst Keith Lee keeps on picking up wins. A much needed one for Keith Lee, though. This one, I think, legitimizes his claim to potentially being one of the top guys in NXT at some point. He said that that's where he wants to be. He wants to be the NXT champion. He believes Matt Riddle is in his way, and Matt Riddle is taking away the opportunities that should have been given to Keith Lee to begin with. Lee's doing everything in his power to try and make up for lost time, and Matt Riddle is his primary target. A win tonight over Carillo just lets everyone know that this guy is the real deal. A nice victory, a pretty dominant win to be fair. Matt Riddle, he'll be coming after Lee soon enough, and it will be a great matchup. One last match for our episode of NXT tonight, and it is our main event. Well, this team, this stable, this group has shocked the system for over 1 year in Universe Mode. Former Tag Team Champions, former NXT Champion, Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era, a dominant force. That domination has arguably slipped away quite dearly over the last little bit. Adam Cole in action here tonight, 12 wins, 57% win ratio. Always surprised me the lack of, volume of wins for Adam Cole, considering the fact that, he was NXT champion for such a long time. He actually hasn't had that many wins to his name. But that goes to show that Adam Cole certainly had a pretty cruisy schedule, to say the least. And a man who has decided to come back to NXT, Roderick Strong by his side. Now strong knockout. That's Kassius Ohno. The team that, they asked NXT General Manager Shawn Michaels if they could come back to NXT and try and get themselves back out of their rut. They've had some pretty tough losses as of late, including one over the Revival recently. 19 wins for Ohno, 49%. So he's been pretty solid. This tag team has been good. Strong knockout. They are a promising team, but the last little bit, losses have been more prevalent than victories, and that's a big issue for a team that's meant to be winning, meant to be one of the next big teams coming through on Monday Night Raw. Well, at the moment, it's not happening. And they personally requested to come back to NXT for a while to try and find out what's going wrong before they try again on the main roster. Nice elbow struck there by Ohno. So they were on Raw for a few months there, since about WrestleMania. So a good 6+ months on Monday Night Raw, competing week in, week out, trying their best. And for a while there, they weren't getting any opportunities because of the fact that they just weren't winning enough. Our Raw General Manager, Christian, started to lose a bit of faith in Kassius Ohno and Roderick Strong, and decided to try and, pursue other teams in the most prominent spot as the number one contenders. So Strong Knockout had their chances, but they just ultimately couldn't cash in on them. And now they find themselves back in NXT, and I'm not sure where they go from here. A win tonight for Ohno may kind of give him some incentive to go for a singles title again, or potentially just give him a bit of momentum and potentially go after the Viking Raiders rather, for the Tag Team Championships. And by the way, the Viking Raiders have not lost a match in NXT. 100% they are, so that's not going to be easy at all. Big super kick right to the jaw there. So I'm not sure what Strong Knockout's intentions are, and if they're really going to find success down here. That's the thing. As I said, the Viking Raiders are so good. The only potential thing that's going for them is there really isn't that many clear-cut number one contenders coming through the ranks, other than perhaps the Street Profits, who got a nice victory over Gulak and Nice here tonight. So I'm not really sure what Strong Knockout will be able to do, and if they will be able to beat the Viking Raiders. Adam Cole at the moment looking for another win. Adam Cole's had his issues with Lars Sullivan over the last few months. And now that Lars Sullivan's put behind him, Adam Cole's trying to regroup and get himself back in the mix. Sullivan, of course, beat him at the last takeover, so Adam Cole has actually had quite a few losses as of late. He's been on the decline a little bit. The Undisputed Era as a whole have just struggled a little bit, and I'm not sure what their motive is or what their plans are. Undisputed Era wanted the Tag Team Championships for themselves. They were unsuccessful against the Viking Raiders. Adam Cole unsuccessful in getting himself an opportunity for the NXT Championship. So just a bit of a rough patch for the Undisputed Era. After being so dominant for so long, they are in a bit of a bad run at the moment. Adam Cole trying to bring Ohno to the corner, unsuccessful. Ohno with a few elbow strikes. And Cole against the ropes. Ohno. Oh, big time kick right there. Onto the jaw of Adam Cole. Here comes Kassius. Running senton. Nice momentum swing into this one for Ohno. And he may be able to find the big move to secure him the win. Lands down with a modified suplex. Now could be it for Adam Cole as he picked him up in the air. Just dropped him straight back down and went for the cover immediately. And it worked well, but not enough to secure the 3. Can't be too far away though. Big time kick there from Cole. And Ohno is down. Cole again, shot to the midsection. Here comes Adam Cole. Oh, the Shining Wizard. Caught him in the back of the head. That may be it for Kassius Ohno. And a kick out. Just in the nick of time, he got that shoulder up. Adam Cole could taste victory, but it's gone out of his grasp as Ohno is back in this match. But how much longer? Ooh, nice kick. And nips up straight to his feet. So this may be that last burst of energy here from Kassius Ohno. Ooh, kick right to the jaw. Adam Cole had his battles with Ohno once upon a time. These two men have seen each other plenty. As, oh, a running senton again by Ohno. Kassius, at one point on track to become an NXT champion, but just couldn't win the big one. Then decided to go for the tag team titles with Strong and hasn't quite found the big win yet. So a win tonight will just secure that big win that he's needed for such a long time. There was a knockout strike potentially. Found the big forearm, and now the swinging neck breaker. Kassius Ohno could do it here. Could find one more big move. This may be the win. Oh, there it was. There it was. The big kick. That would have been the knockout blow. That could have been the 3, but not to be. Instead, Cole takes a chance for a breather. Meanwhile, Ohno slowly back to his feet now. Oh, Enziguri. Ohno is down quickly. And the kick to the back. And oh, another Enziguri. And Adam Cole is loving what he's been able to produce here. Loving himself. What a shock. As now Ohno, look out, flips through, shoulders down. Could be it here. Cole's in trouble. Gets 2, reverses back. Great cover by Cole. Got it! Ohno kicks out a fraction too late. And Adam Cole with the reversal catches out Kassius Ohno, who can't believe it. Adam Cole sneaks a win. And he almost was on the verge of losing it, but good enough to counter back and steal it as, oh, come on. Adam Cole, this is what he's all about. Stomping away on Ohno. And now Roderick Strong has seen enough. Roderick Strong not happy that Adam Cole's attacking his tag team partner. And Adam Cole and Strong now face to face here. Strong standing up for his tag team partner. That's what you want to see. As now he's going to help Ohno back to his feet. As, oh no, what the? Roderick Strong! Oh no! Roderick Strong! What's that about? Roderick Strong attacks his tag team partner as Adam Cole watches on. And now Strong lines him up again. No, oh no, he's got him up again. Oh, the double knees to the back. And it is a heartache there for Kassius Ohno, who is longtime friend, his ally, his tag team partner, has decided enough is enough. Forget about Strong knockout. And I don't know, it looks like we may be seeing Roderick Strong finally joining forces with Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era. They have been missing something, and looks as though Roderick Strong may be the missing component. Ladies and gentlemen, that is huge. Strong joining forces with Cole. Strong knockout is done, and the Undisputed Era gets stronger. Thanks for watching. See you next time.